Jamie Hand here from Preschool STEAM, and today we are wrapping up our 5-day STEAM challenge. All this week I have been sharing my process of how I go through a STEAM themed unit and different activities with young children. So if you've been following along, you know each day kind of built upon the next. So we started with an open discovery center and exploring. Then we went into creating just a quick challenge. Then we went in and dig deeper with an investigation. And then yesterday we talked about how to encourage collaborative and creativity with our garden mural. And today we're going to share how to wrap it all up, because we still have some beautiful materials or beautiful flowers left from our Discovery Center. So what happens next? Well, what we are going to do is we are going to take the materials that we have left over, the extra dirt, the extra flowers, and we are going to make a container garden for outside. Now, I was going to try to do this video outside and show you, but it started to rain. So we are inside, so sorry about that. But for those of you on our email list, I will share with you step by step of how we make our container garden. So I'll do that, it'll be posted in day 5. So if you're on the email list, you'll get that link and you can follow along. But since I can't show you, I'll just explain. We'll just have a garden container, something that has holes in the bottom so that the water can drain out, and then we'll layer with rocks and then use our extra dirt and then plant our flowers. Now here is what makes it fun, is that you want to then connect the container garden to your students' interests. So you could make it a dinosaur garden. If your students are really into dinosaurs, well then you can simply add plastic dinosaurs that are okay to be outside, and then dirt that can wash off easily, and it can become then an additional creative play space outside. So dinosaur is one idea. You also could adapt it and make it into a fairy garden. Another idea is to make it an adventure land. If you have different superheroes and your students really like superheroes, then just call it an adventure land and put little plastic superhero figurines. So that's how you can grab your students' interests and combine our knowledge about gardens and create something that is a really fun space for students to not only play in, but also get some sensory experience, sensory play, where they're able to touch the plants and play with the dirt and play with their toys as well. So it's a win-win-win on all accounts. So we're going to be actually, hopefully this afternoon when it stops raining, we'll be able to go out and build our container garden. I'm not sure yet which direction we're going to go, if it's going to be more Adventureland or more dinosaur. I have a feeling it's going to be more dinosaur, so that's my prediction. We'll see what happens. And I will just update, like I said, in day 5 of how we do that. So that's one way of how you can wrap it up. And of course, as you're planting the flowers and creating the container garden with your students, it's a great time to review. What do we know about plants? What did we learn about plants? What do you still wonder about plants? Maybe your students still have questions, and then that can lead into a further investigation. As I mentioned yesterday with the mural, if your students really got into plants need sun and rain and to grow, then maybe you go and connect that onto a weather unit. Or if your students are really interested in what's in the soil or what's in the dirt, then you can connect it to a different bug or insect theme coming up next. So that is how we can wrap it up for your students. Now your job as the teacher still has one more step, and this is something that oftentimes gets pushed aside or overlooked. I know, because when I was in the classroom, it happened to me too. But taking time to reflect on a theme or a project or an activity when you're done really can help you analyze and determine what worked, what didn't work, what maybe you could do better next time, and what to plan for your students next. So I have 5 questions that I like to ask as I'm reviewing once we finish a theme unit. So once again, this is just something I do on my own. This is not with the children at this point. So my questions are, the first one is, what worked well? So I want to reflect and think about what went well this week. Now, this reflective questioning, you can do it daily. That is probably the best scenario, but we can be real here. We don't always have time daily to sit down and reflect. So sitting down, taking time to write it out, maybe that happens then at the end of the week. So thinking back over the week, what worked well for you, for your students? What were students really enthusiastic about? What did they really enjoy? So just simply bullet pointing, brainstorming, just jotting notes down. Now remember, these notes are for you, so you don't have to, do full paragraphs. It's okay to just do a quick note to yourself. Okay, question number 2. What did not work well, or what could have been more effective? So going over maybe your challenge that you did earlier in the week, maybe the students they didn't get into it. So just jotting that down, making a note that you could rework the challenge and make it more effective for your students. Question number 3. Ideas for next time. I know as I'm doing an activity with children, a lot of times that will get me all excited and lead to new ideas. So I always try to jot those down, and what always ends up happening is I put them on Post-it notes, and then Post-it notes get all over and they get lost. So this is just one area where if I've made any notes throughout the week, I can jot them down in one place. All right, then question number 4, I like to write down what resources I use. So this is great if you use books. We use basically one book throughout this week, but maybe you incorporated many different books or websites or a favorite Pinterest board. Write down all those things in one spot, so then next time it's so much easier because you have them all in one spot. And then question number 5, where can we go from here? Okay, so we're wrapping up our plant challenge or plant theme. What theme are we going to do next? What investigation can we look into next? And a lot of people ask me, how can they fit in STEAM or STEM into their current lessons? And that's by actually planning out and integrating. So thinking, okay, if you have themes already planned out, then it's integrating into that. If you have flexibility in your themes, then maybe it's based on the children's interest and using their interest to plan your next theme. So actually taking a moment to sit and think about, okay, based on everything that we've done this week, what can we go further with, or what can we connect to? Student learning is all about making connections, especially to the prior knowledge. So anytime that you can build upon what you've already done in the classroom is great. And especially with young children, the opportunity to revisit activities. So with the plant investigation, that still may be ongoing in the room. Now maybe next week it's not your main focus, but you can still go back and revisit, observe how are our plants growing. If you make the container garden, like I talked about just at the beginning of this video, that is an ongoing activity that the students can still use even though you may have moved on to a new theme. So it's good to have opportunities that students can go back and revisit, and then as you connect new activities, it's all kind of like the building blocks of information. Okay, so just to review, the 5 questions to reflect upon as you as the teacher is 1, what worked well? 2, what maybe didn't work so well? 3, what are your ideas for next time? 4, make a note to write down the resources that you used. And 5, where can we go from here? Okay, another idea, and before I forget, because I almost did forget, is you can collect all your students' notes and observations that they have made, any drawings or documentation, and you could actually send this home as a little booklet and communicate with the parents. I know as a parent, it's always fun to get more information about what the students are doing, and sometimes when you're doing hands-on STEAM activities, you may not have a physical thing to send home. So that's where documenting the children's learning throughout the week, you could even include maybe a copy of any digital photos, or this also could be something that you post on your classroom website or in your class newsletter, just somewhere that can share with the parents of what was going on with your STEAM investigations. Okay, so that is going to end our STEAM Challenge week. Thank you for those of you that have been following along all week long. I've loved your emails. You guys have great ideas. Feel free to share in our group. This group, I really would love it if you have STEAM or STEM questions that we can all help each other out. I know many of you have brilliant ideas about units and different themes and activities. So please feel free to share your ideas into this group as well. Now, those of you that are getting the email, there will be a few extra surprises. I'm going to also link up to some additional plant STEAM activities so they can help get you some new ideas to inspire your students as well. Okay, well, I am going to end it here. Thanks for watching.